Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. So last night I had a chance to go and check out the new film called In the World of John Wick, Ballerina. It's a John Wick spinoff. It's taking place in the same universe and it's in the timeline of John Wick Chapter 3. And I was really looking forward to it when I saw the trailers. At first I was a little skeptical. I'd be like, why are they trying to do a spinoff of the John Wick franchise? I mean, I never understood that, but after seeing the trailers, it really got my attention. It piqued my interest, and I was really looking forward to it. And you got Armas, who's playing the lead. And I'm someone who is a big fan of the John Wick franchise. I loved all four of them. The first one, I still think it's my favorite, but every time that there's a new sequel, the action gets even crazier and far more extreme. It really saved Keanu Reeves' career after the first movie's success, and it really revitalized the action genre. And studios for years have been trying to replicate the John Wick movies like many times. And for this movie, Ballerina, it's taking place in the timeline John Wick Chapter 3. You're following this new character, Eve, played by Ana de Armas. Ever since she was a little girl, she's been training her whole life as an assassin in the traditional of Ruska Roma. She later tries to take on an army of killers as she seeks revenge onto those who were responsible for her father's killer. I will say this right now. I actually really enjoy this movie. Now, granted, if you're going into this movie expecting this to be a Shakespeare deep narrative story in a ballerina film, you're going to be disappointed. This movie will not be for you. But if you're someone who's a big fan of the John Wick franchise and you love crazy action and you love the fight scenes, the gun fu fights, the stabby stab, the gory, the carnage, this movie is going to be made for you. You're definitely going to be entertained and you will be satisfied with it because they definitely delivered the crazy action set pieces. None of in this movie are in CGI. From what I've heard, that the only thing that they used CGI in this movie was when they were replacing the actor's face from the stunt double to do the stunt work. And that's the only thing that they used for CGI. But other than that, it's pretty much like 95% practical effects. Really, I think that they delivered it. And you want to know why they were able to deliver the great action the traditional John Wick way? Because they went and got back the director, Chad Stahelski, who co-directed the first movie, then directed 2, 3, and 4 for the John Wick movies. So, because the studio saw the first cut of the film of Ballerina, and they did not like what Len Wiseman had done with the movie. They thought that there was not going to be enough action. It doesn't feel like it's in the same universe as John Wick. So they went and got Chad Stahelski, who have made those movies, to direct the reshoots. Like, we're not going to know what we're going to see in the first cut of the film, but for the final cut of this movie, I think it was probably changed for the better. Like I said before, you're going this for the entertainment, and if you are, then the price is worth the admission because it definitely delivered the entertainment. I will say that the story and the plot was very mediocre and generic. It's a revenge story. We've seen this countless times before in a lot of movies, and I just don't think it was as strong as deep as I was hoping for. But the one thing I really will say, Ana de Armas is fucking amazing in the movie. She can still continue to be a great action hero as an eye candy, and they made her a believable character. I really like her character. I love how she was able to share the screen time with Keanu Reeves. Now, one of my negatives that I will say with this movie, in the third act, when we see Keanu Reeves show up and come across with Eve's character, I loved that they were in the movie together and he was able to give her the assist in the third act. And this is not a major spoiler. It's in the trailers. It's already been shown. It's already been revealed that he does cross paths with her in the movie. And it's in the timeline with John Wick Chapter 3. And if you've seen John Wick Chapter 3, you'll know what I'm talking about and why I have an issue with it. And it made no logical sense for him to be there. But you know what? I didn't care because I still enjoy having him be there. And I did like the part when one of those henchmen were scared of John Wick because he is the Baba Yaga, the guy you sent to kill that fucking boogeyman. He's someone that they feared because throughout the John Wick Chapter 2, 3, and 4, none of the assassins of the Continental were not fearing John Wick. But in the first movie, one of the Russian mafias were always fearing John Wick every time they hear his name because he's the man, the myth, the legend. And they did not do any character assassination with John Wick in this movie. They still proven that he is the Baba Yaga. They did not do him dirty at all. They did not water him down. But I will say, logically, it didn't make sense for him to show up in the movie. But I understand that marketing-wise, they had to boost the marketing for the movie that people are not fully aware that this is in the same universe as John Wick. And they weren't so sure if they're going to be that invested. But I get it. It's a smart marketing strategy that they had to reveal in the trailers. It makes perfect sense. And you know what? It did work for the most part. And I will say the third act was absolutely glorious. The fire hose versus the fucking flamethrower battle was glorious. None of that was done in CGI at all. Like I said before, the only time they used CGI is when they had to place the face on the actor from the stunt double. That's the only thing that they used for CGI. All of that was done in practical, and it was glorious of how they were able to do that. There's a fucking plate. There's a fucking dinner plate smashing each other. There's so many fight scenes that were so creative. Even the ice skates, the fucking grenade fights. Holy shit, that was absolutely glorious. I'll be honest with you, without Chad Stahelski coming in to do the reshoots, I think the movie would have been very unsatisfying the way that they handled it. And I look, as much as I like Len Wiseman as a director, he was just not really up to the task to take on this franchise. He was not the right pick. Because there's a reason why they had to get Chad Stahelski to do the reshoots. Because they wanted to still feel like they're in the same universe and feel very consistency. Even though that the story and the plot is very generic and there's not a lot of quiet character growth or any moments in the movie, but they still deliver a great entertainment. And you know what? I had a great time watching it in the theater. And sure, it's not going to be near on the same level as the 4 John Wick movies, but I still think it's a worthy addition to the franchise. I still wish that they would have given us a little bit of small character growth, give us a little time to sink in and give us a little time to breathe and make us care more about her character. And other than that, it was good. I enjoyed it. The main villain, the one who was responsible for her father's death, he was totally generic. I didn't really care about that whatsoever. He was there to further the plot. Norman Reedus, they revealed him in the trailers. You remember Norman Reedus, who was in The Walking Dead, who played Daryl? He only had a few minutes of screen time. They made it seem like he was going to be in the whole movie working with Eve's character in the movie. And it was a little disappointing. I felt like he was only there to further the plot with Eve's character. And you know what? It was fine. But other than that, I still thought the positives outweigh the negatives. I think that Ana Armas is a great addition to the franchise, and I hope that we get her back into the next installment. Either one, do her next spin-off sequel, or two, actually put her in the 5th installment of the John Wick franchise with Keanu Reeves. They work so well together. I wouldn't be surprised if Lionsgate decided to do that. They're still trying to decide whether they're still going to be doing the John Wick 5. They did say that they confirmed it, but then Keanu Reeves said in the interview saying, no, my character's dead and my character's not coming back, blah, blah, blah. It seems like they're not all on the same page. And I will say, I really enjoyed watching Ian McShane, who's playing Winston, the head of the New York Continental Hotel, the one that we've been seeing all 4 of the franchise. I love seeing this character, even though he doesn't get a lot of screen time, but I still enjoy watching him on screen. And Lance Reddick, who was one of the Continental Hotel, the one who was one of the major characters of the franchise, the one that passed away a couple of years ago. It was unfortunate that he passed away. I mean, I can't tell if they shot the scene for his last scene in this movie before his passing, or maybe it might have been John Wick Chapter 4, but it was great to see Lance Reddick again because he's such an incredible actor. It sucks so much that he was gone too soon because he's so good in everything he does. But anyway, I still had a good time watching this, and I encourage you to go check out in the theater with an audience. If you love the John Wick franchise and you want to be entertained, this movie's going to be for you. But don't go in there expecting it to be having a deep narrative story, a Shakespeare experience, and expecting it to change your life. This is not going to be it. So for me, I'm going to give this rating for Ballerina a 7.5 out of 10. Anyway, I hope that this movie does well. I mean, right now it's only made like 25 million on domestic opening weekend. I mean, I hope it makes good overall because this is on an $80 million budget, and I hope that people can get around to seeing this, even though the title Ballerina may not appeal to a lot of people. But for those of you who are John Wick and you're a fan of the franchise, you might be intrigued about it. But mostly the casual movie going audience will probably not be appealed by that title. But I think you should go out there, give it a chance. It definitely stands on its own. You don't really have to watch the 4 John Wick movies to understand this film. It stands on its own. They still made sure that this is her movie and not John Wick's movie, and they made sure of that. They didn't try to overshadow her or outperform her character. So anyway, what did you think of Ballerina? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you like it or did you dislike it? And if you like this review, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you know when my videos are up. And if you want to follow my social media platforms, the link tree would be down in the description down below. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of my content.